Heading into the holiday long weekend, which you guys down there in the United States, you don't know how good you have it, okay? Having Thanksgiving, being seriously taken and understood, getting a 4-day long weekend. I'm not envious about a lot of things, but I do love me the holiday season. I mean, you take a look around, okay? And I say holiday season in the purest form of that term because that encompasses, yes, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, which, okay, for me, it ranks Christmas and then New Year's, but New Year's is so far down the list, I don't even know where to put it, really, okay? It's all about Christmas. I love the season so much, and the fact that you guys really get to kick off the entire season the right way with a 4-day long celebration of family and friends. I love it. I'm thankful you guys have it. I'm jealous I don't, but eventually, maybe I'll join you down south when things get better, when things, get made great again. But I digress. I guess when it comes to the entertainment festivities, things kicked off about a week earlier, okay, with a big old Glicked release, right, guys? Because both of these films are just so fantastic because, at least according to the critics that are out there and from the verified audiences, okay, both of the big heavy hitters, okay, with Wicked, I mean, 97% audience approval, which, yeah, hearing a lot of stuff about that, and well, we'll get into some of it, and it's like, well, I guess the people that seen it really like it. There's reasons to like it, but frankly, yeah, I don't really care. I really don't care, to be completely honest, okay? And then the critics class love it, but then for Gladiator 2, I'm glad that it's, getting a tepid response, because everything that I hear about this, and not just my absolute hatred for the premise of this film to begin with, not just because, Gladiator 1 is in my top 5 favorite movies, I've really got to figure out exactly how I'd put it. I know that the Lord of the Rings trilogy is right there at the top. I'd probably have to go back and see, when it comes to Godfather and Godfather 2, where that sits after that. Pirates of the Caribbean, that's also up there as well, like Casino Royale. So yeah, Gladiator is at least top 10, likely top 5. And then to just have this, decrepit sequel wash up on shores 24 years later from somebody who was well past their prime. Yeah, I didn't like that idea to begin with. And then to hear everything that's associated with this film, hearing several in-depth reviews on it, I don't like what I hear. I don't think it's going to have great legs. I think given the season that we're very much in and heading towards, or firmly, this is going to be a Moana 2 and a Wicked season. Because any of the guys that may have wanted to go down to the theater and waste 2.5 hours of their life, yeah, they'll be more than content watching the slew of NFL games that are coming out this week. Because there's quite a few matchups on the horizon that look at least decent. But I can comfortably make that prediction, mostly because you take a look at the box office and go, yeah, okay, everybody who wanted to see and had the opportunity to see a Gladiator 2 abroad in international markets, already seen it, didn't exactly have great things to say about it. It was mostly just, yeah, it was fine. I liked it. It was better than I expected. It's not exactly enthusiastic, full-throated endorsements that I'm hearing. And then stateside, yeah, I don't think this half-assed, uncharismatic dual lead idea is really resonating with guys, because Wicked wins the domestic box office but loses to Gladiator 2 internationally. Has a Glicked begun? Yeah, internationally it's a bit of a misnomer, right? Because yeah, Gladiator 2 had a weak head start on it, so if you take that entire tally, it's not really an apples to apples comparison. Wicked and Gladiator 2 both soared at the box office this week with some fascinating results both domestically and worldwide. Many are comparing the comparing the apparent success of both films to the Barbenheimer phenomenon of summer 2003. Not quite. Close. Not quite. Saw both a Barbie and Oppenheimer achieve critical and commercial success at the same time. Yeah, but here's the thing. Oppenheimer was well regarded as a terrific movie. Hell, didn't it win Best Picture? The Gladiator 2? Yeah, no, it ain't it, bro. While Wicked easily took up the top box office spot domestically, it lost out to Gladiator 2 in the international box office, demonstrating the disconnects between U.S. and foreign markets. What makes even more interesting is that while the film opened in the U.S. This week, Gladiator 2 is in its second weekend internationally and still managed to upend the Broadway musical adaptation. It's not to discount the Wicked accomplished this weekend. The film saw a massive $164.2 million global box office. That includes $114 million in North America, $50 million in overseas markets. Now, did it open fully in the world? Because, I don't know, maybe Broadway musicals just aren't that popular abroad. That's possible, but yes, Wicked also hasn't opened in major markets like Japan and China. I don't really imagine you'd get a big haul from China and Japan. I don't really know. However, given its subject matter, it's questionable whether the Chinese market will support this film. Yeah, exactly. This is a big opening weekend for the movie based on Broadway show, and the fifth biggest opening for a musical. Gladiator 2 pulled in $106 million this weekend, 55.5 domestically, $50 million internationally. Yeah, see, okay. Last weekend's international take was $87 million, so that's quite a decent drop-off. Film currently has a total worldwide of $221 million, but it'll be interesting to see once you have, the fair comparison. What is the domestic drop-off for Gladiator 2 going to be in its second week? What is Wicked going to look like with a full international release schedule under its arm? But yeah, well, it looks like Wicked more than likely has legs, at least the stateside. They don't really have to worry about, is it going to be a flop? Did the stupidity of the actors really cost this one? Because, yeah, it only cost $150 million to make. So, yeah, it's just about halfway to breaking even. And with the holiday long weekend coming up and a decent to really good word of mouth, especially amongst those audiences, yeah, it's not really going to have a problem. But Gladiator 2's bloated budget of $250 million, and that's what was reported, I think at the end of 2023. So I don't think it could make money, but I really think it's going to be hard pressed to do anything outside of Thanksgiving long weekend, man. I think that we're done and dusted on this one when people finally start to realize what kind of shite we're dealing with. The only thing that's going to be left in the aftermath of this before all of the Christmas releases start to roll out is the battle between Wicked and Moana 2. And honestly, at this point in time, I'm kind of cheering for Disney, which kind of sucks to say, but the people behind, Wicked, they're just idiots, bro, okay? And I've got nothing against musicals. Hell, I seen Mamma Mia in theaters, okay? But that also had Pierce Brosnan, Stellan Skarsgård, and the OG Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried. It was decent. It was decent. It's not anything that, I'd go back and watch, but I remember watching it in theaters and it's like, that's decent. But the whole idea of Wicked, I think it's stupid, okay? And, no, it's not made for you. I understand that, but I also wouldn't take any woman seriously if they were going to go ahead and advocate for this whole, she's not actually, the Wicked Witch of the West, one of the quintessential villains in all of literary history. She's just misunderstood, bro. You don't understand it. It's a film based on fan fiction of one of the oldest tales and one of the most beloved stories of all time. This is a story for dumb people, and it's now also being portrayed by dumb people as Ariana Grande and stupid-ass Cynthia. Why are you making fan art, Erivo? Don't understand how words have dualistic meanings, and in the context of when the original work was written, queer didn't mean thinking with your genitalia. And yes, Ariana Grande doesn't know her linguistic history. And here's the thing, man, for as insufferable as she has been in recent history, on the promotional tour, she's been fine, but she's just exposing herself as just being a vacuous airhead, and another reason why you shouldn't take anything that actors or actresses say seriously, because they're not smart people. She thinks that, when The Wizard of Oz was written, queer meant scissoring and sword fighting, not, strange, off, weird, abnormal. Also hey, Christmas carols, okay, we'll have a gay old time. That's the Flintstones. But gay means happy. No. They'd think, just go and frolic and, butt fuck in the snow. Not quite the same, right? But Wicked actress Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande claim original Wizard of Oz novel promoted pride values because, yes, it gets even worse. I spared you their inane babble so we can just simply read the text of it. Stars for the upcoming Universal film Wicked, that's already out, can't seem to help themselves. In a recent interview, Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, who play Elphaba and Glinda in the movie, claim that Oz is inherently a place that promotes same-sex relationships. whatever, bro. They go even further to say that it has been in the original 1900s children's novel The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum. Meanwhile, I'm not even sure Frank would know what terms being pushed out the corporation and Ivy League DI program are. In the interview, the two are asked the question of the character Fiyero, played by Jonathan Bailey. Do we think that maybe Fiyero like the attention from both, the interviewer asked, because that's all that these mass media hacks are on about. It's like harkening back to that interviewer from Variety. Is this the gayest musical ever? Now, it's not a story about friendship, which that's one thing, okay, because I've heard a couple of reviews of Wicked, and it's like there's actually, for as very gay as it is, it's not trying to push the Wicked Witch of the West, Elphaba and Glinda, like they're not out there trying to scissor me timbers or anything like that, trying to rub their clits together. It's nothing like that. This is all that these brain-rotted idiots can think about. Both Erivo and Grande pounce at the question, exclaiming, of course, because, we need to be inclusive. We can't stray away from the norm, even though the current norm is swiftly and quickly being replaced by common sense and, I don't know, maybe a love for good storytelling and not the message. Maybe your time is long past. Grande quickly asserts that Oz is a place that has always promoted same-sex relationships. I'm sure it has, sweetheart. It's always been, Grande insisted. I think so, Erivo quickly added, because having dissenting opinions, we don't like it at all. It should be noted that, yes, the love triangle central to Wicked sees both Elphaba and Glinda, two females clashing over the affections of Fiyero, a man. Even from L. Frank Baum's books, Grande continued. Somebody else told me, because I can't read. Yeah, Erivo said, adding her 2 cents to the conversation. I think so, for sure. What are we even talking about? Just, if I was the interviewer, right? Obviously, I wouldn't be, because I'd be just a little bit too real for this. It's like, yeah, what passage exactly are we referring to? Oh, that one, right. Hey, we'll take it, the interviewer quickly says before laughing. We provide such an important service. Grande also said in a recent interview that there could be a romantic relationship between her character Glinda and Elphaba, claiming that she felt Glinda was in the closet. Oh, she's an idiot. I was giving her way too much credit. Anyways, L. Frank Baum's, yes, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz came out in 1900. It was a good year. The book was written primarily for children. Yes, Baum, who was also traditionally minded, when it came to family preferences, whatever you might think of Oz, its creator was married to his wife Maud Gage in 1882. He claimed that Dorothy, yes, the main character in The Wizard of Oz, was one of the first non-traditional characters in fiction. How they assign romantic preferences to her that aren't made clear in the original work, but ultimately there's no evidence to back this up. Well, yeah, of course not, because that's, as the French say, le retarded. Many claim that she marries the character of Princess Ozma, but the two are simply described as very good friends. Yeah, exactly, because these people have such warped worldviews that think, anybody who is just kind with one another, they must be boning, okay? That's why these are probably the same people that also think that, Sam and Frodo on their journey. Yeah, they're obviously gay. I mean, I didn't even have that close of a relationship with my uncle, and he was doing weirder stuff with me. So clearly, Sam and Frodo, they were getting it on. And then when Gollum showed up, oh my God, they were just running a train on one another. It was terrible and so hot. See, that's just what did. Tolkien was too much of a coward not to write it. Ugh. But it's so silly. It's so silly. They're silly people playing silly characters in a silly musical that's going to make a silly amount of money. Just goes to show you that Hollywood isn't completely dead. The only thing that is dead is that organ between the ears of those two actresses. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.